Hello and welcome to another edition of fiber art videos with Spinning Shadows. I'm Jess from the Spinning Shadows Fiber Arts, and today I'm going to show you how to needle felt a dryer ball. We're going to do this little guy here. He is a, well, rather interesting looking owl. Now normally you wet felt dryer balls and they get quite compact. This guy here is one of my previous needle felted dryer balls, and he started out maybe half as much bigger, and he felted down in the dryer quite hard. But with this one we're trying a core of Babydoll to try and prevent him from felting down quite so far. But even if he does, he's still adorable and really fun and easy to make. So I have my materials here for needle felting. You need a foam base or something to use as a base. Some people use burlap with rice in it, and just basically something you can stab through with the needle and not damage, at least for a long time. Now usually I have a piece of felt over this, but I made some felt pictures and so I don't have one right now. We have here, I have a large needle and a fine needle. There's like 3 different sizes and 2 different types of needles. There's a small, a medium, and a fine. I forget their particular names. Basically the difference is the tips have grooves in them that when they're stabbed into the needle felted object, they take the wool fibers and they tangle them. And the repeated stabbing and tangling is what creates felt. It allows you to shape the wool into your desired form. I believe the one type has sort of triangular grooves, and the other type has little bumps, lots of little bumps. So I'm not quite sure how they differ, how they tangle the wool differently, but anyway. Continuing on, let's see, I have these two, and then I have a generic pen off of eBay. I believe you can get this as a part of the Clover felting kit. It'll probably be a little bit more high quality than mine. It has 3 needles on the front that can be changed out, or you can take them out. This allows for your needle felting to go a lot faster than opposed to just doing one needle for all your work. So that's definitely a lifesaver. And then I have this here pink one. Actually, this one is a Clover, and it came with a small kit that had 3 needles. I took one out. I use this for fine detail work and finishing off. When you use a large needle, which you can use at the beginning to get things going, if you keep using it, it'll create distinct holes in your felting. You'll definitely see the marks. So as you continue on, you want to move to the finer needles, and sometimes you use the finer needles for the entire thing. But if you use the finer needles, it will create less of an effect of holes in your work, and it'll look a lot nicer. And you can sort of rub the wool a little bit, fluff it up, and remove that too. Once this goes through the dryer, it really won't matter much because it will felt down and tangle so hard you won't even be able to tell that you needle felted it in the first place. Alright, so I have here my materials. I have, for the core, I have a bunch of Babydoll here that I washed myself in hot water and Dawn, and It's rather short and it's very, about an inch or less. And while it's spinnable, I'm gonna try and use it for these dryer balls. And then I have here an unknown breed from, I think it's a mix of some sort. I got this off of eBay as like a 1 pound roving, and it's been very useful for needle felting. I'll use this to cover the Babydoll. And then I have here Corriedale and Merino for the accent colors. And over here, a whole box of fibers colorful felting fibers I've collected over time, and some spinning fibers that made their way in. Now, the difference between spinning and felting fibers is felting fibers tend to be more compacted and they don't draft easily, so they're a little more difficult, better for felting than spinning. Anyway, okay, so we'll put him aside, I'll take about I'll say 2 fistfuls of wool. So if this felts down, it will only felt down to about a fistful. Babydoll isn't supposed to felt, but everything around it will. So if that compacts, it'll only compact so far. And we'll put that there. And then I'll take this roving here and sort of stretch it out sideways. This is just tease it a little. And take off a length. I'll pull it apart. I'll take that apart a little more. That's way too much to cover over. What I'll do with to start my dryer ball, so I'll take my fiber here and I'll wrap it around like a taco one way. And I'll take, let's see, I think this is a big needle, and I'll just do some initial stabs here just to hold it in place. It's not going to really do much because there's very little fiber here, but no, just a tiny bit. It doesn't take much to start the felting process. It actually only takes a few stabs of the needle and it's already dangling. Now I'll fluff some more out and pull it. It's actually drafting. And lay it over, going the other way. Wrap it up like a neat little package. And I'll take this again and you want to just put it in, take it out, and do the same again and again and again. It does take some time. But anyway, just around a bit, change your angle. Be careful not to stab yourself. That really hurts. And there we go, we'll secure that a bit. Now these long fibers will go into the Babydoll and tangle up. They kind of secure. And we'll do just a tiny bit more. I'm not really worried about the base fiber peeking through. I don't aim for perfection in my dryer balls. After all, they are going in the dryer and it's gonna felt down anyway. Let's see. It's a little bit too little. Oh my gosh. And and if you press it down a little bit, it will help the process to go a little bit faster. Okay. There we go. And you'll just keep going over this, change the angle, roll the ball around, and keep felting it down, and eventually the fibers will start doing what you want them to. To make this go faster for the purpose of the video, I'm going to take up my multi-tool and just start really punching that in. And with the multi-tool, you do the same thing. just, if you can see, you're just tangling those fibers pretty well, and it deflates it all and locks it in place. And once you put this thing in the dryer, it will do the rest of the job. That if there's any flyaways or anything, they'll just be locked right in place. I see this end looks a little like a mummy wrapped, so let's cover that up. Let's at least make it look halfway decent. And we'll lock that down. I like to lock down the tail and then work my way up from there. And sort of spread out the fibers and cover up what you want to cover up. And this will definitely, as you can see, it takes a while. It's definitely a lot faster to wet felt your dryer balls, but in this you can take your time, shape the thing, and maybe take out some aggression from the day. You know, if you've had a long day, it's fun to just make a dryer ball. And you get something useful out of it, and pretty, depending on what you make with it. I've made, let's see, a tomato and a treasure bag and several sheep, among other things. Some faces, just because. Why not throw a face in the dryer? Okay. Now that's probably felted down enough for our purposes. Okay. I could continue on with this, but for the sake of my battery, I will move on from here. You can see it's still quite fluffy and squishy. All right, now we will take the green here and take some of that off. I actually might have too much. Let's see, we'll put that back in the box. And we will, approximately split it in half. Yeah, that's good enough. About half here. And sometimes when in other tutorials, they'll make the shape here on the foam and then add it to the creation. This one, I'm just going to add it directly on. I'm going to find the nicest, this one actually, this is actually the nicest side. Now I'm going to fold my fiber in half. You can see here, I'm fold it over my finger so that I have a nice straight edge and this thin scraggly tip. And I'm going to put it like so, lay it on, sort of like that. I'm going to take my fine felting tool here and I'm going to go along the edge and secure it just so. And I'm going to try and make somewhat of a teardrop shape. Well, somewhat of a teardrop shape with this. So I'm going to come down here, turn it, and I'm going to pull this and tuck it in. So it looks somewhat like this. There we go. And I'll take this end here and just about midway poke it down, fold it back and create a bit of a tip.